So much for being here tonight. I'm really excited to hear what you have to say.
I am so honored to be here, Kindering. Thank you so much. I really am excited to talk to you all about disability pride and what that means for me. And it really starts in my early life. I was born in Latvia when it was occupied by the Soviet Union. I was institutionalized for 5.5 years, and I was not speaking. Now, as you can see and hear, I cannot shut up. A lot of my advocacy has to do with fighting for all rights of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And it really started with my adoptive parents. They brought me here to the US, and they taught me that I deserve the same rights as my sister, who didn't have intellectual disabilities. And they really fought for my education. My mother sat in the hallway with me at school and taught me how to read herself. The school thought they couldn't teach me, but my mother was stubborn, and I am so grateful to her. It is because of her stubbornness that I was able to get into academics, and I eventually was able to get a history degree from Central Washington University. And I learned about all of the different ways of how my disability affected me in society. I learned about why I was experiencing the discrimination I experienced. And importantly, I learned pride. And what I mean by pride is I learned how to empower myself with my disability and no longer try to hide my disability or try to make my disability go away. There were a lot of people who put pressure on my parents that the only way I could have a successful life is if I made my disability go away. But that's not how life works. And it made trying to get through life really hard when I couldn't acknowledge my disabilities or understand my disabilities. I did not find pride in myself until I started understanding myself. And so when I started understanding my disabilities and how it affected me and what support needs I may need, that's when I started succeeding in life. I started asking for accommodation. I started asking for the help that I needed. And being able to let go of that idea that I could not do it without accommodation or using a crutch. Everybody heard that term before?
Yeah.
I think that the one way that to think about the crutch is it's important. If the crutch will help you succeed, then take that crutch with pride. And that's part of disability pride, is taking that crutch proudly and using it to get further in life where you want to be as a person with disabilities and as a family of them people with disabilities. Help your loved one use their crutch. Don't shame them for needing to use a crutch. Help them use it in a way that they succeed in life and go forward in their dreams and their goals. Because just because I may have some limitations, I cannot drive, I still was able to get here today. There are other routes that you can get to succeeding. And because of my disability, I got to take a very beautiful route today. I got to walk a wonderful pipeline trail. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was driving. And so, in a way, my disability was a gift. And that gives me pride. That my different route, it was a more scenic route. And that's okay. Things may take a little bit more time. There may be more energy or resources needing to be done to get something done. But that's okay. Because disability is a natural part of life, and that people with disabilities should have pride in who they are. And the first step of that is to understand I have a disability, and that's okay. And it's part of who I am. But it's not going to stop me from getting where I want to be. And that's why I encourage all of your families, stick by your children with disabilities. Stand up for them and their right to a full education, their right to adulthood, to starting their own families. I would not be here today if it wasn't for the support of my parents and their belief in me that I had the right to grow up. I had the right to find love. I had the right to have my children. And they've been supporting me this whole time. And it's through the grace of God that I am here today speaking to you all, because that is what gives me pride in my disability, is that I have succeeded with my disability, and that my disability has empowered me. And so that is what I want you to take pride in, this Disability Pride Month. Thank you so much.